Healing isn't always a quiet, peaceful process. Sometimes, it crashes down on us like a personal apocalypse, turning our entire world upside down. A pivotal moment arrives, often unnoticed by the outside world, when you decide, enough of running from your pain. No more drowning it out with distractions, hiding it behind the facade of relationships, or in the endless pursuit of success. Instead, you truly meet it, feeling every facet, and that's when everything changes. Hidden patterns begin to emerge. With startling clarity, you notice how your nervous system reacts to everyday trifles. And you realize a shocking truth. You haven't been living. You've merely been surviving. Yet, at this very moment, something unexplainable, almost absurd, occurs. While you blossom emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, your bank account seems to melt before your eyes. Opportunities, it seems, slip through your fingers. Money becomes ghostly, elusive, and it all feels like utter madness. You've become more conscious. You're diligently doing deep inner work, healing step by step. Shouldn't life now flow easily and freely, but instead, abundance seems to actively turn its back on you? Why? This question burns. This is precisely what we're going to unravel. We won't just outline what's happening. We'll delve into its very core, its true root cause. And when you realize it, you'll discover that hitherto hidden part within you that has been silently but persistently blocking your abundance all this time. This knowledge lies much deeper than superficial financial literacy and the cult of constant busyness. Carl Jung, the great thinker, once uttered these wise words: "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This profound truth lies at the very heart of our story, serving as its invisible yet powerful foundation. Allow me to paint a vivid picture for you. Imagine a child whose eyes daily witnessed only anxiety. They grew up surrounded by their parents' constant worry about money, their endless arguments, whispers of need, sticky fear, and burning shame that seemed to permeate the air. For this little one, money was never synonymous with freedom or joy. It became the embodiment of pain, a source of endless conflict, and a symbol of total instability. Fast forward 20 years. That same child is now an adult, desperately on a healing journey. Perhaps they've delved into therapy, uncovered the depths of spiritual work, meticulously started dissecting their triggers, and healing childhood wounds, striving to reconnect with their authentic self. But deep in their subconscious, in Jung's shadow realm, money still lurks like an ancient predator. It remains not just a threat or danger, but a powerful, uncontrollable trigger capable of instantly transporting them back to the past. And what does their nervous system do in response? It immediately activates a protective mechanism, sabotaging all endeavors, steering them away from potential danger, avoiding risk. And all of this happens unnoticed, while their conscious mind tries its hardest to manifest something, carefully plans a budget, or diligently builds a future, unaware of the unseen battle within. Herein lies the deepest paradox of healing and money. As you delve deeper into yourself, your consciousness expands, but this growth inevitably leads to a confrontation. You find yourself face to face with countless invisible contracts you made for survival. Among them are insidious beliefs that money is inherently dangerous, or that possessing it will transform you into those who once caused you pain. This is far more than just psychology. It's a genuine spiritual battle unfolding between your past self, clinging to old patterns, and your present, inevitable evolution. The great Jung described this path as the process of individuation, a journey toward achieving wholeness. But he perceptively warned, the path to wholeness is not linear. It is a spiral, and money, being one of the most powerful and emotionally charged symbols in our society, becomes a ruthless mirror, reflecting all that you have yet to integrate within yourself. Therefore, if you find yourself fiercely struggling with money matters while doing deep inner work, this is not a failure, not a setback. This is a powerful signal. Your soul is actively reorganizing. The old structures of your ego are cracking and collapsing. And that former version of you, desperately clinging to outdated money patterns, simply cannot move forward with you into your new future. But here's what most people miss, and we'll revisit this later. There's a profound reason why spiritual growth and financial stability so often seem like irreconcilable adversaries inhabiting completely different worlds. And, believe me, it has absolutely nothing to do with money itself. Allow me to touch on a topic most mindset coaches strangely bypass. Your nervous system, believe me, cares little for your grand dreams. It only craves one thing: familiarity. You can sit for hours, surrounded by crystals, diligently repeating affirmations, visualizing streams of abundance pouring into your life with your eyes closed. But if, deep in your body, money is associated with uncontrolled chaos, your subconscious will ruthlessly block its access, like a stern bouncer guarding the entrance to an exclusive club. And no, this isn't self-sabotage on your part. This is pure protection. Because in the ancient, instinctive language of trauma, familiar always equals safe. Even if that familiar is steeped in poison and utterly toxic in reality. Imagine your childhood home, your family residence, was saturated with an atmosphere of endless financial anxiety. Secret bills, sudden power cutoffs, bitter arguments over every too large expense. All this stress didn't just evaporate. It literally absorbed into your body. It lives in every cell. This isn't just a vague memory. It's a deep, somatic experience that has become part of your biology. It transformed into an emotional template, an unspoken rule by which your nervous system still determines what to consider normal. And this is precisely why, when you, as an adult, consciously and decisively declare, "I will create financial abundance for myself," that deeply ingrained part of you, your inner guardian, frantically whispers or even shouts, "Stop, this is dangerous. We've never been in this territory. Retreat, immediately retreat." Sometimes, the path to healing becomes a paradoxical trap. The deeper you delve into your inner world, the more you unleash your potential, the stronger your unhealed parts begin to resist. For a nervous system, honed for survival over centuries, any significant growth can feel like a threat, a dangerous step beyond the familiar comfort zone. It is precisely at this moment that the profound wisdom of Carl Jung comes to our aid, who asserted that true awareness cannot be achieved without confronting pain. How does this reflect on your relationship with money? It means that your inner discomfort related to finances often has nothing to do with the banknotes themselves. Its roots lie much deeper, in what money symbolizes for you. It could be all-consuming power or frightening visibility, the burden of responsibility or intoxicating freedom, or perhaps even a deeply hidden fear of loss. Perhaps, in your subconscious, acquiring wealth is tantamount to betraying family ties. To become the one who dared to succeed while other family members struggle in need can evoke sharp pain of guilt and a sense of isolation. Perhaps you're afraid to shine so brightly that you'll feel exposed, vulnerable to others' gazes. Or maybe it means confronting a deeply ingrained belief that you simply don't deserve ease and abundance in life. All of these are manifestations of the shadow. Jung described it as the rejected, deeply hidden corners of our soul, those parts of ourselves we fear to acknowledge. But the shadow isn't just anger, shame, or fear. It also masterfully conceals our own light, our true worth and boundless potential. And, most importantly, it absolutely shapes and obscures the true state of your relationship with money. Have you noticed how often the path to healing seems paradoxically tangled financially? This is no accident. Your deepest, most vulnerable parts, yearning for safety, unconsciously prefer familiar discomfort, shielding you from the frightening unknown of true abundance. This manifests in various ways. You might accidentally miss a promising opportunity, repeatedly undervalue your priceless services, endlessly postpone a crucial project launch, or simply feel an overwhelming, inexplicable fatigue that binds you. But believe me, this isn't laziness. It's your wise yet cautious inner voice, your nervous system whispering, "Let's stay here, where everything is familiar. It's safe, it's what we know." And this is why you are not broken. You are not bad with money. You are simply living through and finally becoming aware of an old, deeply ingrained program that is now coming to light. And here lies a truly powerful, transformative insight. Your healing is not a barrier to abundance. On the contrary, it gently yet persistently illuminates those corners of your soul where abundance never felt safe to begin with. This isn't just work. It's a sacred path. To move forward, you don't need to break through walls. You need to befriend your resistance, embrace it. Gently, lovingly, retune your body's deep beliefs about what is truly possible. Therefore, breathwork, somatic therapy, deep inner child connection, and conscious restorative rest are not just niceties or luxuries for the privileged few. They are, in essence, your most potent financial tools. For when your body finally feels true safety in expansion and growth, money will cease to be a source of anxiety and fear. It will transform from a trigger into a reliable and loyal partner on your journey. You know, many of the beliefs we carry about money aren't truly our own. They were downloaded into us, inherited, and absorbed, like secondhand smoke polluting the air around us. You didn't consciously decide one day to feel guilt for receiving, or fear of success, or deep skepticism towards wealth, did you? This deep programming originated long before you ever opened your first bank account. The great Carl Jung called this phenomenon the collective unconscious, an immense psychological network woven from archetypes, ancient stories, and emotional memory that shapes our very worldview. And most importantly, it doesn't belong only to you personally. It belongs to all of us. Let me illustrate this with a vivid example. Imagine, your grandparents endured the horrors of war, grueling famine, the humiliation of colonization, or painful displacement. In those harsh times, they had no opportunity to attract money. Every cent was painstakingly earned just to survive. They deeply internalized cruel lessons. Money is incredibly hard won, vanishes in an instant, and most importantly, cannot be trusted. This deep, unspoken pain was inherited, like an invisible thread connecting generations. Your parents grew up in an atmosphere of this constant tension, and each developed their own unique relationship with money. Perhaps their approach was permeated with fear and anxiety. Or perhaps, on the contrary, they swung to the other extreme, living in ostentatious excess, desperately trying to fill that deep inner void left by their ancestors. From childhood, consciously or not, you absorbed messages that shaped your perception of the world. Do you remember those words that echoed in your soul, spoken aloud or hanging in the air? We can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. Be grateful for what you have and don't ask for more. Who are you to ask? Painfully familiar, isn't it? These phrases weren't just stored in memory, they became deep emotional imprints, beliefs you absorbed, not just with your mind, but with every cell of your being, with all your energy. And now, as an adult, you bravely undertake healing, trying to rewrite your money script, but you feel a whole trail of generational pain dragging behind you. It's no wonder this path feels unbearably difficult, like swimming against the current. But here lies the truth, your beacon in the dark. Awareness is your true liberation. As Jung believed, only by bringing the unconscious to light, integrating it into our consciousness, do we begin to reclaim our inherent power. This is how we break the vicious cycle. This is how we become the pattern breakers of old, binding patterns. And understand this transformation isn't just about you personally. When you begin to heal your financial trauma, releasing shame, embracing ease, trusting your true worth, you're not just doing it for your future self, who will live without this burden. You're doing it for every version of you that ever struggled, and for every soul before you who never found their way to abundance. Know this, you are not just changing your life. You are transforming the very psychic climate of your lineage, rewriting its deep collective script. Yes, this path is not quick. It is multi-layered, permeated with the deepest emotions. And that is precisely why no budgeting apps, no spreadsheets can heal ancestral wounds. This is not a path of numbers and logic. You must allow yourself to feel these wounds, to mourn them, to dare to question everything that was ingrained. And only then, step by step, carefully choose new beliefs, those that truly resonate with you, with the person you are becoming, not the one you were taught to be. Now, let's take a deep breath and conclude this part gently, with love. You have already traversed the most difficult path, dedicating so much of your life to survival, overcoming, and healing. You bravely faced your own shadow. You cried in the deepest darkness when it seemed you had no strength left. You gently pulled your inner child from the most hidden corners of memory, embraced them tightly, and whispered, "I am here now. I am with you." But on this healing journey, there's one quiet yet powerful revolution that many overlook. Receiving is also an act of healing. It's not just about extracting and releasing old traumas. It's about flinging open the doors and letting in the light, letting in joy. To accept money without the slightest hint of shame, guilt, or fear is one of the most radical and profound spiritual acts of true self-love. Especially when your entire nervous system, every single nerve, has for years been conditioned to expect something entirely different. Scarcity, struggle, rejection. The great Carl Jung proclaimed that the self is more than the sum of its parts. It is a wholeness encompassing all facets of your being, light and shadow, logic and deep emotions, conscious aspirations and unconscious currents. He taught that the integration of all these elements is our authentic goal. Now, let's put this puzzle together. When you embark on the path of healing, you're not just rewriting a few thoughts on paper. You're initiating a deep, fundamental reorganization of your entire internal system, transforming it so that abundance no longer feels like a threat. It becomes natural, harmonious, and organically integrated into your essence. But this is precisely where many stumble, falling into a deceptive trap. Too often, we mistakenly believe that external blessings, like money, can mend our internal wounds. We desperately await a financial influx to finally feel safe, strong, or seen. However, the truth is paradoxical and inverse. Only internal safety and peace open the floodgates for the external flow of abundance. And this unwavering internal safety doesn't appear overnight, nor is it born from a giant leap. It's built brick by brick, moment by moment, through small yet decisive and repetitive actions that gradually dissolve your fear. This manifests in such things as calmly viewing your bank account not with anxious judgment, but with full acceptance, having the courage to ask for what you're truly worth without diminishing your value, allowing yourself rest and peace, even when the pervasive, insistent voice of capitalism whispers, "You haven't earned this," until you've exhausted yourself to the limit. Genuine gratitude for a gift, instead of instinctively recoiling with awkwardness or distrust. Opening yourself to the free flow of money, instead of painfully extracting it from the world at the cost of your suffering and endless struggle. These aren't just money habits. They are sacred practices of the soul. For true abundance is not born from coercion or struggle. It flows from deep alignment, from wholeness with your healed self, the one liberated from the shackles of survival, not the one shaped by its heavy burden. Allow me to paint a powerful image for you. Imagine your inner world as an old house. For years, you've devotedly renovated it, tearing down dilapidated beliefs, mending cracks in walls that once seemed broken, and painting each room in the colors of your own authentic truth. And now, finally, the moment has arrived. You light a candle, throw open the windows, letting in fresh air, and invite long-awaited peace into this renewed home. But what happens when money gently, or perhaps insistently, knocks at your door? Do you open it with joy and trust, or does a familiar old voice echo through the corridors of your consciousness, whispering or shouting, "We don't deserve this. It will never last. Be careful, it's a trap." This is the final threshold, the most crucial test. Healing means you didn't just build a house, you constructed it with love and confidence. Now you must believe that you are safe enough within yourself to let in all the good gifts that life offers. Receiving without guilt, earning without exhausting yourself, and thriving without betraying an ounce of your inner integrity, these are the next delightful turns of your healing spiral. You were not created for endless hustle, for a perpetual race. You did not come here to prove your worth through exhaustion. You don't need to sacrifice your joy to earn enough to live. That's an old story. We have mourned it, released it, and buried it forever. Now it's time to write a brand new one. Imagine a world where spiritual people don't just survive but thrive, their wisdom shining brighter than ever. A world where empaths, instead of being depleted, flourish, their unique ability to feel becoming a source of incredible strength, where healers proudly declare their true worth, receiving fair compensation for the invaluable gift they bring, where artists create in abundance, their souls free for self-expression, not constrained by need, where sensitivity isn't a weakness, but a powerful superpower, opening new dimensions of being, and finally, where money ceases to be a frightening monster, transforming into a loyal ally on the path to realizing your true mission. As Jung wisely noted, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Allow this profound statement to penetrate your soul, for your true essence did not come into this world to aimlessly repeat old patterns of pain and deprivation inherited from previous generations. No, you are here to break this vicious cycle, to transform it, and this transformation, without a doubt, includes your relationship with money, one of the most powerful tools for manifesting your freedom and potential. You don't need to desperately chase money, exhausting yourself in this endless pursuit. Instead, simply open yourself to it. Stop unconsciously blocking its flow. True wisdom states, You attract into your life not what you consciously want, but what you deeply within yourself deem safe to possess and hold. Your healing is not merely a process. It is fertile ground, a powerful foundation, a high frequency that attracts abundance. When you heal your internal blocks and traumas, you automatically raise your vibration, opening the doors for a flow of well-being. Remember this: you are already absolutely worthy. You always have been. Your worth doesn't depend on external circumstances or the number of zeros in your bank account. It is inherently yours, like a light that cannot be extinguished.